Good afternoon guys, and welcome to Nick's Veggie Patch. Welcome back guys. Well, I've been on holiday this week, so I've had a lot of things I've been able to get on with down the allotment and in the garden with the help of the wife. We've been up the allotment planting pumpkins and courgettes and marrows that my wife's mum gave to us. We've also been tidying up the plot and watering, making sure that the seedlings that I've planted up the plot are all in good condition. And also we picked some wonderful broad beans that were ready to be picked that I sowed in October, November last year. Lots of other things have been happening over the weekend just gone. I went down and visited Charles Dowding's market garden, met the man in person who I follow on YouTube, got his brand new book that's just come out and he signed it for me, and I also brought some of his seed trays that he's designed and sells through a company called Containerwise, but luckily for me on the day he was selling some at his market garden. Now it is an event not just for him but an event for other people who've got wonderful gardens near where he lives, to raise money for some charity down there. So we had a few hours down there, but yeah, just meeting Charles Dowding was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to show you what I bought from him and also show you another seed tray that I've also brought. So there's lots to be shown in this video, and without any further ado, I'll get cracking on. Good morning guys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of Nick's Veggie Patch. So today I'm going to be potting on my Titan sunflower seeds, ready for our sunflower challenge that me and my mate Dave Dixon are having, along with my wife. And also I'm going to be sowing some pumpkin seeds. That is also part of the challenge, but obviously my wife isn't doing the pumpkin challenge, she's just doing the sunflower challenge. So as you can see, I've got the lovely Titan sunflowers here. I sowed nearly a whole packet, and I've had 6 germinate and come up, so I'm really pleased about that. These are going to be potted on, and then I'm going to be sowing some pumpkin seeds as well. So I'll come back to you guys in a bit. Okay, the sunflower challenge is underway. The Titan sunflowers have been selected by me and my wife. So my wife is going for this lovely sunflower. It obviously looks a bit leggy, but that's not a problem because the pot it's going onto is going to be deep enough to handle it, and it will give it plenty of space to grow and fully mature, hopefully not into the winning sunflower but into a very nice sunflower. Obviously this year we're going for the biggest sunflower by circumference, so that means the head of the sunflower, how wide that is going to determine who wins that part of the challenge. Last year it was the tallest sunflower. My mate won that as well, mainly due to me not being able to keep an eye on my sunflower during the hot part of July where I was at home with COVID, but obviously I can't use that as an excuse. But that's my wife's sunflower. And this is going to be my sunflower. It looks a little bit lopsided, but I'm not got a problem with that. It's really good. It's healthy. I've got my pot that's going to be ready to take that. Hopefully I'm going to have the biggest sunflower by circumference, but we'll have to see. But as I've said, these are our sunflowers ready to go. I'm going to pot them on and I'll show you them in a minute. And there we have it, guys, both sunflowers potted on. Right guys, welcome back. Today I've been potting on some chilies that I've been growing. So today I've potted on 3 different varieties of chili. So here we have, if it comes to anything, a yellow Carolina Reaper, a Dragon's Breath variety of chili, the good old Scotch bonnet, red variety, and then another yellow Carolina Reaper. I had success with the Carolina Reaper last year that I grew. They were red. I didn't get many, but fingers crossed I'll get some Reapers this year. What I've done is I've transferred them from their small tubs to this large tub, well, fairly large tub, as you can see. If I was to give one piece of advice, don't transfer chilies that are in a small pot to a very, very large tray to start off with, because they don't like it. It shocks them. So obviously, yes, this is large, but I've got 4 chilies in here. Obviously the 2 Reaper, Scotch bonnet, and the Dragon's Breath, so these should be absolutely fine. This has also got a ventilation tray at the bottom, so you can give it plenty of water and the water will sit in the bottom and it will water from the bottom upwards. And there's also two little holes as well, so if it gets too much water in there, the water does drain out. So I've potted those on. I am going to be potting some more on in a little while, and I will show you them in another separate video and then load this up all into one video. But they're the first sort of 3 varieties of chili that I've potted on, and I'll crack on and carry on with the other ones. Okay, so before I put on the other chilies, I'm going to show you what the container, obviously, that you've just seen, how the irrigation system works. So you've got this black tray here that sits in the bottom. It's got lots of holes in it and 2 little dips in it, and then as you can see in this tray, it's got 2 little funnels there, one either side, and if the water gets too high inside, the water drains out underneath. So all you do with this is you just slot the yellow tray back inside. Then once you've watered, all the water will soak down through. It will save, or it will maintain water in there, but it will only keep just enough in there. So once it goes up to those 2 funnels, if it gets too high, it will pour out underneath. But that's the tray. Now I'm going to fill that with compost, and I'm going to put the remaining chilies inside, and then I'll have 2 wonderful trays full of chilies. Okay, so to give me the range of options that I obviously want for this growing season, I've gone to my favourite garden centre called Long Acres near Bagshot in Surrey, and I brought some chilies and some peppers. So it's not always, I don't always have success growing chilies or peppers. Obviously you've just seen some of the successes that I've had, and I say successes, hopefully they will produce chilies, but for the range of options that I know some gardeners go for, I wouldn't call it cheating, but I've gone to obviously the local garden centre and I brought some chilies. So the first one is I brought a tequila sweet pepper. As you can see there, lovely purple, dark purple skin. The next one I've bought is a chili pepper Scotch bonnet red. Now obviously I have grown one, so that hopefully will be a success, but I saw this and I thought, yeah, gotta have that. Now the next two I brought are the same variety, but these are from a company called Tornado Chilies, and these are hot paper lantern, so they are the strength of 4 chilies. So yeah, I like to have a varied range of options. So not only do I grow my own stuff, I like to buy a few bits and pieces. So I'm going to pop these on and show you the end result. So there we have it, guys. All 4 chilies and peppers potted on, ready to go. Wish me luck. Right, so I'm going to show you what I purchased when I was at Charles Dowding's market garden, going around his wonderful house and garden. It was absolutely amazing. And as I said, while I'm down there, I met the man in person. You will see the picture of me being photographed with him that my wonderful wife took. And I'm going to show you what I purchased from him. So obviously the first thing that I purchased from him, which is inside, is the book that I had signed by him, and also some trays or cell trays that he's designed and had produced for him, and they come from a company called Containerwise. So the first one I bought was his small cell tray. It's 15 cells. It's got some good size holes at the bottom, easy enough for you to push your dobber through to take out whatever you've sowed in them. It's a good sturdy plastic. I've been told they're guaranteed for a good 15 years or more. So I bought 2 of them. Then I also purchased his 30 cell seed tray. Again, good sturdy plastic, same material. I'm also told these are recyclable, so I purchased 2 of them as well. And then the one that I'm really pleased about is the one that he obviously really wanted, because as he states in one of his videos when he's promoting these, to get a 60 cell seed tray, you normally only find them in the plastic that can be ripped easily and it doesn't last long. So Containerwise, with his advice, designed him a 60 cell seed tray. They've also got the holes in for good ventilation and allowing the water to drain out so that your seedlings are not rotting. But yeah, I was very happy with these. I bought 2 of these as well. Obviously a very good price. And if you want to find these cell trays or where you can purchase them, obviously I'm not being endorsed by these companies. I'm not even being endorsed by Charles Dowding, but obviously you know www.containerwise.co.uk is where you can go on to their website and purchase them. So yeah, I'm really happy with what I purchased there, and I'm going to use them and I'm going to sow the seeds in and I'm going to see how they work out. Okay guys, I've been to my favourite garden centre this week while I've been on holiday, and I've picked up a selection of herbs, as you can see here. So I thought I'd tell you what herbs I've picked up. As you know, I like herbs, so I've got some in my raised planter at home. I just thought I'd have a few more, probably plant them up at the allotment. So the first one I've got is catmint, and the reason I've got that one is, for me, it's kind of similar to catnip that you can get, or catgrass, but yeah, cats love it. It's also a very good mint to kind of ward off rats, so I've been told, but it's also very good for bees. And if you dry it out, it's also good if you make your own homemade pot puree. So yeah, I bought this mainly for the cats. I'm going to put this in its own pot because I don't know if you know, but mint can grow quite vigorously, and if you're not careful, it can take over. So my advice would be, if you're ever going to plant mint, plant it in a single pot on its own. Try not to plant it in a raised bed, because if you plant it in the ground normally like you would plant any other vegetables or flowers you've produced, the mint will take over. So just go careful if you're going to plant it in a raised bed. So that's going to go into a pot. I've also bought some marigold for the wonderful orange yellow colours that it's going to produce. That will probably also go up. That is going to go up to the allotment. I've got a couple of raised beds ready for some herbs, and that one will give some colour along with the flowers that I'm going to be putting up at the allotment in the next few days. The next herb that will more than likely go up to the allotment is the sorrel red veined. It's another good herb, very good in cooking, very good with salads. So yeah, that's another one I've purchased. And the final one I've purchased, and this is fennel. Again, I'm going to be putting that up the allotment into the raised planter that I've got, and hopefully we'll get some lovely fennel. But also you can get the fennel if you grow fennel as a bulb, and you can take off the wonderful fennel leaves and you can have fennel like that. Eventually what I aim to do is get a herb dryer, and I'm going to dry my own herbs. Then I'm going to put them into lovely little glass jars I've got, so we can have fresh herbs to choose from when we're doing our cooking. But yeah, as you can see there, guys, just a selection of herbs. As I've said, these herbs have been grown in Hampshire. They come from my favourite garden centre that I like to go to, which I always say in some of my videos, which is Long Acres. It's in Bagshot in Surrey. If you ever get to go there, check it out. It's a fantastic garden centre, and they have a massive selection of vegetables, herbs, flowers. They've got other things as well, but I like to go there for the herbs, the vegetables and the flowers. But yeah, there you go, guys. Okay guys, so I've got a selection of seeds that I'm going to be sowing today, and there'll be a picture in my video to show you every seed that I'm sowing, but I thought I'd go along quickly just to show you what I am going to be sowing. So I've already got some beetroot in the greenhouse growing on, as coming along nicely. It's a variety called Boltardy. It's a very, very hardy beetroot, and it's also very good because it handles the frost nicely. But I'm going to be sowing a different one now, and this one is called Goldeneye. So another variety of beetroot that I'm going to be sowing. I've also got two different types of fennel that I'm going to be sowing. So the first one is the Fianese. Give that a go. And the second one is Florence. So yeah, I'm going to give two types of fennel a go this year. I'm also going to be growing a different variety of radish, because the radishes I sowed earlier in January, February. They've all gone now. They were the French breakfast radish. So I'm going to be sowing these ones. They're called Moly Minnow. They're an early variety. I'm going to give those a go. Radishes don't take very long to come up once you've sown them. So roughly a good 2-3 weeks after sowing, put them in the ground, and you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks for them to be ready. I'm going to be also sowing this year some mammoth leeks. These are called mammoth pot. Very stout and heavy stems. I'm going to give those a go. I'm also going to be growing some more kale. Down at the plot at the moment I've got Cavallero kale. So I thought I'd try another variety. This one is called Reflex. It's an F1 variety, and generally what it means, F1 means, is that it's not very good if you want to save the seeds to try and grow it again. So F1, I believe, generally means that it's not a great variety to try and save the seeds for growing again. Now sweet corn, I've got a fair bit of that or growing in the greenhouse at the moment, but I am going to do some more because we did love the sweet corn we grew last year. It all got used. I blanched it, freezed it. We either had it on a barbecue or with meals. So yeah, really good sweet corn, always a good staple to have. I'm growing some more pumpkins again. These ones are going to be different or separate to the ones I'm going to be doing for our challenge, mine and my mate Dave's challenge of growing the biggest pumpkin and the largest sunflower by circumference. So I'm going to be growing Atlantic Giant and also the Big Macs. So hopefully they'll come alongside the pumpkins I've already sown. I'm also going to be sowing some more leeks. Giant Winter. Leeks are always a good staple to have in your allotment. And also you can grow them in clumps. So this thingy around sowing them, or this thing around planting them individually in little holes in your raised bed. Leeks also prefer it if they're with their mates, as a term I can use from a term I've heard from various people. They don't mind being grown together in clumps. So I'll probably give that a go this year. I'm also going to be sowing some melons because my wife likes melons, so we'll see how they go. And this variety has been produced by a guy called James Wong. I don't know if you've seen him, but he's dedicated to herbs, botanical stuff. So yeah, I'm going to give them a go. I'm also going to be sowing some celery, some iceberg lettuce, some squash. I think that says Musc de Provence. Also another packet of seeds from James Wong, and these are Caribbean spinach. I like the look of that, so I'm going to be growing them for the colour. Also some Rosa de Trento lettuce, some broccoli purple sprouting, and then the final one, some Romanesco cauliflower. But yeah, they're all the seeds that I'm going to be sowing today, guys. They're also going to be sown into the new seed trays that I got from Charles Dowding when I was looking around his market garden on Sunday. But I've also got another fantastic seed tray. This I purchased from Amazon. It's really good. It's 49 cell seed tray, so there's going to be a lot of varieties going into that. So I've got a lot to be cracking on with, and I'll come back to you guys in a bit and show you what I've been sowing. Okay guys, I've got some aubergines here that I'm going to be potting on, and these are called White Casper. So I've got two lovely aubergines that have come on really well since they've been sown, and they're gonna go into this big pot here, this old sort of pirate's kind of pot. I suppose it's in like the shape of a barrel. It's got copper tape around the outside to stop slugs and snails climbing up and devouring the aubergines. So I've got some really good compost here, and I'm using compost called Groshaw. So I'm going to plonk that into this pot, and this has got feed in it for up to 4 to 6 weeks. So hopefully they'll come on really well, really healthily. But you can add your own sort of feed or your own fertiliser to get them coming on nice and strong. I've never had much success with aubergines, but hopefully this year I will. We decided to give it another go. These are going to be staying down here in my garden on the patio, and hopefully we'll see what happens to them. Hopefully we will get some aubergines. So I'm going to get the compost as much into the pot as into the tub as I can, almost up to the top. And then once they're in, I'm going to give them a really good drink of water, and then I'll leave them for a few days. But things like aubergines, cucumbers, even courgettes, when they're about that size, until they get bigger, they don't need a hell of a lot of water. So it doesn't matter if the soil or the compost is really dry. It just helps them come along better if they're not drowning in too much water, or the compost is not too damp. So I will give that a good water, and then I'll leave that for a few days and then look and see what it looks like in a couple of days. I mean, you can do it more if it's been a hot day, obviously, but yeah. So just filling this tray with compost, and I'll come back to you. Right guys, so I've got the aubergines ready to go into my container, and I've used a pot just to do the holes in the container. So I'm just gonna gently take out the aubergine and then gently place it into the tub. Again, do the same with the other one. Gently into the container, and then all I'm going to do is put the compost around it, give it a good water, and they'll be all ready to go. So another tip you can also do when it's starting out fully developing and growing is to stop the pests from getting to your plant or your vegetable, is to take off the very bottom leaves once it starts to fully develop, because normally the bottom leaves are normally the most tastiest to slugs and snails, but if you take them off, it stops them from getting to them. So I'm just going to finish off potting these, and then I will show you the end result. So there we have it guys, white Casper aubergines potted on. Right guys, I'm going to sow some fennel. The variety is called Defianese. I've got my cell tray ready to go. These are the ones that obviously I purchased from Charles Dowding's Market Garden, and they've got 15 little cells in them. I filled them with the compost. I've put a little hole using my dabber in there, and I'm just going to take a few of the fennel seeds. Now I'm only going to sow one seed in each cell tray because that makes easier when you go to take them out, and it means I'll be able to just literally take them out of this cell tray and plant them straight into the ground at my allotment. And hopefully, by doing it this way, hopefully they won't bolt either. So they're in just a little bit. Just take a couple more. And put them in the remaining holes that are there. Normally when I sow seeds I normally do 4 or 5 to a cell tray, but these ones probably advisable just to do one seed per cell tray. So I'm decided that actually I'm only going to do one variety, otherwise I'll have loads of fennel. So yeah, I'm only going to do one variety, but these are the fennel definees. So now they're in the cell tray, and I'm just going to lightly go over with some more compost over the top, just gently tapping it down. Give it a firm tap down. And then I've got my label ready to go. That goes just in there. I'll give them a good soaking of water, and then I'll put them in the greenhouse, and they're ready to go, and hopefully they will germinate and give me some fennel. Right guys, I'm finished up for the day. I've done all the sowing of the seeds that I've shown you. I was going to say today there was some varieties that I have double of, so I've decided only to sow one pack for now and see how they germinate in the greenhouse. But yeah, I've got lots done today. So I've moved my water back temporarily as well, and I've put everything I've sown in the greenhouse. So hopefully everything I've sown today will germinate and come along nicely. There's also a few things up the allotment that has also been done, so it'll be a chance to go up there either tomorrow or over the weekend and have a look and see how we're looking up there. But I say that's it for today guys. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you for another episode of Nick's Veggie Patch real soon. Bye for now guys.